All right, you guys, here we are. Just doing a quick little video here for project number one. So you probably have seen my welcome video and stuff, but I just want to welcome you one more time. This is your first major project that you'll be doing in Bio B. You are familiar with this though, because you've already taken Bio A dual credit with me, and so kind of the same stuff as it was in Bio A. Okay, so that's kind of the good thing there is not much has changed. However, to be honest with you, I think this class, this second part of dual credit biology, is actually slightly easier than the first part. And so, you guys are well on your way to getting a successful um, grade and to get that college credit, which is awesome. I'm very proud of you guys. So, anyways, you guys, for this first project, we're going to be looking at evolution, and you've been learning a little bit about evolution already, and so we've seen um, how the environment can shape and how different natural things in the environment can cause change to a population. Okay, and so we're going to be really looking at that today with a lab, looking at how do populations change over time uh, due to different circumstances. And with this one, it's a pretty simple lab. I just want to quickly go over the information with you so that you guys can have all the materials that you guys need to do this. So here we go. So here are the lab instructions. You guys will be able to see it right into Canvas. I've pulled it out this way because it doesn't really look as good, or I can't see it as well on my thing. So the purpose, like I said, we're going to be really looking at how do predator-prey relationships cause a population to change, and also what kind of characteristics in a population are favored over other characteristics, and is there a way for scientists to determine and to hypothesize kind of how natural selection, how evolution is going to take place. Okay. So to start out, please, you'll want to make hypothesis and things after you read through the information so you can kind of get a guess of what's going to happen here. All right, to get started, you guys, is what you'll need. So the material, it says to have 10 small bowls. You don't need to have these, and I'll kind of show you how to get away from that, but it does help kind of organize things if you have a cup or a bowl or something. Basically, you just need it to carry some hole punches that you make, okay? Anyways, you'll need a hole puncher, something like this, all right? So if you have something like that, that'd work. Scissors, just cutting stuff into squares would work too if you don't have a hole puncher, okay? So there's definitely some ways to get around this if you don't have some resources here. The other thing is you'll need 10 different kinds of colors of paper. And so right here I've got like several, right? So you'll need 10 of those. If you don't have different colors of paper though, another option you could have, just get a white blank piece of paper, get some crayon, and just color in a small section, maybe like something like this big right here, colored in with that color of the crayon. Whatever you do on one side, make sure you do on the other side as well, okay? And then you can just cut that out, and then what you'll do is just take your hole puncher and just make some hole punches out of that color, okay? All right, so that's basically what you'll need. So to get started, you guys, what you'll first need to do is you'll get your different colors. So if you have your different paper, that would work. If not, though, you'll use your hole punch or your color that you take with your crayon, and you're going to make 10 punches out of each color. And you're going to put those 10 punches, those 10 little circles, in a cup, is what it wants you to do, or in that bowl. But if you want to just make a pile of those, you can, but you need 10 of them. All right, so you'll make 10 of each color, and you'll have 10 separate piles with each color there. All right. When you first get started, the other thing you'll need is a cloth, some sort of background. So this is my environment, is what it's going to simulate. And so for me, I picked this blue cloth. I was like, okay, well, let me simulate the ocean, right? And so I have my environment right here. And then what it has you do, and here, let's see if I can kind of show this to you. Yeah, that kind of works. Okay, and so then what it has you do is you'll get your 10 hole punches that you get from your paper. So let's pretend that these are my hole punches. If I was to take 10 of them, right, from each color, and I'm going to spread them out across here, right? And so, for example, I've got some white hole punches here. Ultimately, what you'll want is you'd have ultimately 100 here, 10 of each color, littered throughout, and you want to spread these out so they're evenly spread out and random. Okay, and so what it says to do right here, if you can see my screen back, it says to randomly just pick one, and you're going to do this 25 or 75 times. So right here, and it says pick one at a time. This is so important, you guys. If you can't just grab a handful and say, I want to speed this up, let's just see how many I get. You want to just pick up one at a time. So I'm going to pick up one at a time here. Obviously, I only have two here, but I've got this one. Basically, I'm simulating I'm a predator. I just ate this prey. It's gone. I'm going to put this back into my pile. I'm going to make a pile for that specific color so I can keep them separated. And I'm going to do this over and over again. Okay, and I'm going to do this 75 times. All right. And now what you're going to do at the end, you should have 25 little circles left. 25. Now, out of those 25, you need to count how many of each color survived. And where you're going to keep that is right here. So this is an example of a data table you could keep. All right, you can do it however you want, but this is an example. You're going to do this for 4 generations, and I'll show you guys how to kind of do that. But then you're going to have your different colors. Now, I just put a bunch of random colors here, not all 10. Obviously, I don't have 10 here. But let's say, for example, so here's my white for first generation. Let's say that 0 survived. They all got eaten because obviously they don't blend in. And so, but let's say that my dark blue, there were 5 that survived, and my light blue had 8 that survived, something like that. So now the question is, what am I going to do for the next generation? So let's go back to here, and it tells us. So leave the remaining 25 chips where they are. This is the first generation. Construct a data table for this generation. Record the colors that remain and how many of each color is left. Okay. So that's what we just did, and I kind of skipped because I don't have it for the other. Ultimately, you'd have 10 different colors here, and you'd have a number for each one. Okay. And then it says right here, separate the surviving chips off to one side of the cloth. So here's my chip. I put it over here to the side. Let's put it right where you guys can see. And I say, okay, we'll give each surviving chip 3 paper chips of that same color. Okay, so basically we're simulating that, hey, they're going to reproduce because they were able to survive. So there's 1. I would add 3 total, so I need 2 more. So there's 1, and there's 2. Oh, and it fell on the floor. Let's just do another. There we go. Okay. And ultimately, you're going to do this for every single color. So if let's say I ended with, so I said right here that I ended with 5 dark blue. So what would I need to have to start the second generation? Well, I'm going to add 3 for every one. So it's 5 times 3, so 15. Okay. 8, I would add 3 for every single one. And so you can do the math there, right? 24. And so anyways, that's what you'll do there. And when you do that, you should have a total of 100 chips. So at the end, you should always have 100 chips. You will need to hole punch more because you'll realize that, hey, some of them are going to die out. Some of them are going to come back and are going to survive longer. And so that population is going to get bigger and bigger. Is hopefully what you guys will see from this. All right. And so scatter the survivors again and do the same thing over for the second, third, and fourth generation. Okay, so there is a quick run through of what you're going to do for this lab. Now, again, this has in the class, you're going to do this at 4 different places. So you don't have to do all of this all at once. The first part you'll see this is in lesson number 2. So right here, and well, that's lesson 3. Sorry, right here. So there's the first part. You'll see this. There's just a couple questions that you'll answer from that. Where you'll actually do the lab is lesson 3. Okay. And then 4 and 5 are just all about analysis. And so save your data and put it in. I would recommend using a Google spreadsheet. And I'll even link this to you guys. If you want to just copy this, make a copy of it, you can. And just put your different colors there. Okay. You are more than welcome to do that. What's cool about this is you can actually get some graphs and stuff to really analyze the data. So for example, let's say that I have black. Let's say I only did a couple. I'm going to make this fastest for you guys. Let's say I had 3 colors, and obviously you guys have 10. All right. But let's say that 0 black survived. Let's say that I had 3 survive there, and then I had 8 survive there. What would my second generation be? Well, this one's easy. It's just going to be 0 the rest of the time. Because they can't reproduce, they're all dead. This one's going to be 15. This one's going to be 24. And if I kept doing this over and over and over again, yeah, you guys get the hint here. And so what you're going to do is I can actually, let's say that I want to just graph or do a data. Let's see, insert. I want a chart. So there we go. Okay. So you can see it's now starting to show me what's happening. Well, I can see that which one's the best trait. Well, it's obviously blue here. Here's the first generation, here's the second generation. It's steadily increasing. The white did as well, but is it growing as much? I mean, we'd have to look. And so having the 4 generations, we'd really want to see what actually happened. And this might not be even accurate data. I just made it all up, right? But anyways, doing that right there will help you analyze that data to help you on the third and fourth part of this lab. You guys are probably like, why didn't you just highlight it all and delete? Yeah, probably could have. Anyways, all right. So if you guys have any questions with this lab, please just get a hold of me. Send me an email or send me a quick message, instant message on Google Hangouts, whatever works best for you guys. And if I need to do more instruction to help clarify some things, please let me know. All right, you guys have fun.